Hey everyone, it's been a few weeks since we have made a video. It's been so hot here in Charlotte. We've been pushing 100 for like, I don't know, probably 3 weeks now.
Yeah, with no rain either, which was brutal.
But extreme humidity, which I know you guys probably know, that is just so difficult to work in. And it's been pretty discouraging for us. So we've kind of like just been admiring the garden from inside and just hoping for the best. But today it's 80 degrees as the high and the humidity's down, there's a bit of a breeze, and so we thought it was perfect time to get back in the garden.
So we are going to take you guys for a walk around the garden today to show you probably our favorite annual to put in the garden, Coleus. And we've got 5 varieties that we're going to show off to you today. And these are all from the Color Blaze series from Proven Winners, which you can plant in sun or shade. So let's take a walk. So we're going to start here at the planter box. And as you can see, it has performed like no other this season. If you remember when we planted this, I mean, everything was tiny. And the box is only, it goes from like here to here. So these annuals are insane. But what I want to talk about is the Coleus. So this is Mini Me Chartreuse Coleus from Proven Winners. And it gives you that little lime color in the garden, but the foliage is really interesting. It kind of has like a jagged edge, but this, believe it or not, this is the small Coleus from the Proven Winners line, and it still gets so big. We have been fertilizing this box every Friday with water-soluble fertilizer, so they have been getting fed every single week, and it looks so great. And I think next year we're probably going to adjust how we plant them in here so they're directly in center of the quadrant, because they really do make a big impact. And I mean, I don't even think you need like a annual grass or anything with this. Like, this is the thriller itself, which is pretty cool. Now when we planted these, I mean, they were little, so you can see how much growth they have put on in just a couple of months. So I'm gonna come down here and walk so we can walk the entryway path together. And you can just see how everything is starting to cascade over the side. Now, we should have cut back the annuals in here probably around the 4th of July, but we're still gonna do it because we're just not getting a lot of bloom here. So we are late, but we're still gonna shear back the annuals, give them some additional fertilizer, and hopefully we can get some more blooms out of the verbena and the supertunias. But the Coleus are looking great. And one thing that we love about Coleus is that, unlike, you know, the superbena or supertunias, they really just shine all season. You never have a moment where they are out of flower because the focus of a Coleus is the foliage, which is pretty neat. So I don't know if you can get close up on this, Brian, to show this really cool jagged foliage, but it's a little bit different than some of the other Coleus that we have planted in the past, which I think is really fun. So we got 4 of them in the box here, and like I said, we're probably gonna start cutting the annuals back here in another couple of days or so. The next one I want to show you is my favorite. So over here, under our dappled willow, we have Golden Dreams Coleus. And I think I'm actually gonna step in behind here so that I can really show this to you. Look how big this is. I just love the red mixed with the lime green. I just think it's so cool. And you can see, unlike the Mini Me Chartreuse, the leaves on this are a little bit more broad. Now they do have the jagged edges, but it's not like a skinny leaf like the Mini Me Chartreuse. And I love the impact that this is making under the dappled willow. Our goal for this was to shroud the trunk of the dappled willow so that it just looks like it's floating. And I think we've succeeded at that. I probably said this before, but I always feel so silly planting Coleus behind other shrubs because when you start with them, they are just like this tall sometimes, and sometimes they just seem like it's just like one stick straight up, and you just have to trust that eventually you will get that back layer. And these will last until the first frost, which for us in the South, I mean, sometimes it's almost to Thanksgiving, which is really, really late. So you get a lot of time out of these. Now these are also getting fertilized every Friday. We do all of our annuals every Friday with water-soluble fertilizer. And every week when I come out here to do these, I feel like they have grown another foot. They're just not stopping. And not a single bloom in sight yet. So I mean, this one's my favorite. And there's 5 in here. So there's 1 here, and then the other 4 are kind of dotted around. And I just love the layer that it makes, especially with the Weigela. This is, I think this is Tiny Wine Weigela, and it has just sort of like a dark leaf with a little bit of green, and they just pair so nicely together. It's really, really stunning. Something I'll point out too, on this side, you'll see the ones here that are getting a lot of sun are more yellow, and then this one has like a darker red look because it's getting more shade. Some of those over there too. So if you plant this in an area that gets shade, it will have a little bit of a different look, but I still think they're both really pretty. So from there, go up here to the peninsula, and yeah, Ridiculous Coleus. I'm gonna go behind so you can see how tall this one is too. Look at this. I'm obsessed. There are 5 in here, and I was telling Brian this morning, I think we could have done 3 right here and put the other 2 on that side in front of the ginkgo. But still, I mean, I'm not mad at this. It's so beautiful. Now we do have a little bit of like green variegation coming on some of them, but you know, we're towards the end of the season, so I still think it's really beautiful. I'm not mad at this at all. We are getting some blooms to start, and if you haven't planted Coleus before, typically when they start putting on their blooms, it either means we're close to the end of the season, and you can pop these off and they'll keep going, or maybe you've bought a variety that blooms early, and that's what I love about the Proven Winners ones, is that they don't start putting on these little blooms until the end of the season. So you really get like maximum foliage potential. And even with these, like I'll just come in and like snap this off and it'll be completely fine. And in a couple days, you'll never know that I did that. We have this paired in here with the Supertunia Mini Vista below. We have the Lemon Squeeze Perennial Grass, and we've got Firefly Yarrow in Peach. It's looking a little yellow right now because we're getting towards the end of the season, but I just love this pairing. I think next year we might flip our plantings and do the Ridiculous Coleus over under the Dappled Willow and do the Golden Dreams here. And I think that will pair, that variegation of the Golden Dreams will pair really nicely with the Lemon Squeeze and the Yarrow. And then this dark red will really pop over there in that kind of dark spot. So I love this one. Is this one your favorite, Brian?
No, I think that the Golden Dreams is my favorite too.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So we've got one more back here I want to show you. I don't know if you can get this, Brian, but through here, this is not Coleus related at all. But our Blue Chiffon Rose of Sharon finally started blooming this morning, and it just looks so pretty through here with the Rudbeckia. Now next year, all of these Baptisia will be way bigger, so we won't really have this window as much, but hopefully the Rose of Sharon just keeps going up and we'll have nice layering through there. If I continue to go down here, we've got 3 Lime Time Coleus, and I don't love this in the full sun. This is just a personal thing. In the full sun, this gets really more of like a yellow color, and we didn't know that it would do that. And we've got a yellow rose back here behind, so it's just not as much contrast as I was hoping for. Now you'll see we have this in another application up front in the shade, and it does have like a darker lime green foliage. It is still pretty, and I'll tell you what we do like about this right here is that we've discovered that we really like having this spot with annuals, because, you know, as down the way it's mostly perennials, and when those are kind of lulling, the annuals continue with the color and the interest. So I think we might actually take the annuals down this block a little bit farther to meet up with the coneflowers and the salvia next year, because it really is just like a prime spot for something that is going to look beautiful all season. So why don't we head up front and I'll show you where we have the Lime Time Coleus in another spot. Oh, you know what, I forgot, we have it right here. So we also have Lime Time Coleus in a container, and the container is quite small, So I would suggest getting a bigger container. That's what I'm telling myself. So future me, when you're watching this back, get a bigger container for your Coleus. But let's head up front. We have it in some containers up there and it's perfect. So as you can see, the entryway garden is quite full. It's hard to believe that there was nothing here last spring. I mean, it's been about a year and a half and we've planted all of this and it's just filled in so nicely. All right, we're gonna save this Coleus for last. Don't look at this one. We're gonna keep going that way. All right, so up front here on our front porch, we have 2 containers that are just overflowing right now. So I planted these in a video. It had to be right around Brian's birthday, I think. So we've got the Swedish ivy, which I love. We've got the apple blossom begonia, beautiful blooms. And then we have the lime-time Coleus. And you can see how dark it is in this application compared to in the back where it's full sun. I mean, this is basically in the shade most of the day. We get some sun in here in the morning, but I actually really, really like this in the shade. I think it's beautiful. The only thing that I would probably change about this for next year is to get something that is a little bit of a darker leaf. So maybe the ridiculous, just so that we're not doing like the same color combo here. We have a little bit of contrast. And then I think I would also swap out this begonia. These begonias are a little bit weepy, and I think that their application is probably better for a hanging basket. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the bloom, but it's, you can't see it as well as if we had gotten, more of an upright standing begonia. But other than that, I mean, I'm very, very satisfied with these containers, and we have gotten well worth our money of these. And again, these are probably gonna last until the first frost. Sometimes we even get a little bit longer because these are close to the house and the warmth of the house kind of keeps them going. So we'll see how that goes. But let's walk over and take a look at the final Coleus. So this one, actually, Brian used to say this was his favorite. So this is Wicked Witch. And we've got a grouping of 3 here. There are 2 on the other side. What I love about this one is that we get the broad leaf with the jagged edge, but then we also get that lime green variation just on the edge with the dark leaf. It's really, really striking. And I think what's nice about this, if this didn't have this variation and it was just this dark burgundy color, I think we might actually lose it against the black fence, but the variegation helps it pop a little bit more, and I really, really like it in this spot. We were actually saying that these roses aren't getting quite enough sun here, and so we need to move them elsewhere. But we were saying, what if we just do Coleus all right here next year and just have a big drift of them? I think that would be really cool. So the interesting thing you'll notice is these 3 right here get overhead water from the sprinklers. These 2 only get water from the drip irrigation, and they get a little bit less sun. So a little bit smaller. And I think that just goes to say, Coleus will get as big as you want them to get. So if you give them lots of water, they're going to love it and they're just going to overflow for you. And, if you plant them in the shade, they might not get as big, but they will still be beautiful for you all season long. I do have to point out something really sad. Unfortunately, we have lost our firefly oriental spruce. I don't know what happened other than, it was really, really hot and we decided to crank up our lawn sprinklers to keep up with the heat, and the lawn slopes this way. So I think maybe it just got flooded out and we overwatered it. So we will see if we will get another one for right here. I really did like it here, but anywho, maybe we'll just pop some more Coleus here for now. All right, I think that does it for today's Coleus video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope this inspired you to plant some Coleus in your garden. And for us, they really are the unsung heroes of our garden every season, and we don't notice it until they get so big, or they're still beautiful when some of our other annuals are kind of on their way out. So I hope this inspired you to think about some spots where you could plant Coleus next year, and maybe even save some space for them, because as you can see, they get really big. All right, everyone, we're gonna wrap this up here. From our garden to yours, we'll see you soon. Bye.